Welcome to our presentation. My name is Andrea Liberator, and I'm here with John Kaywood to present our study. Thank you for listening today, as we are excited to share with you the culmination of our 2-year experience at the University of Michigan's School of Natural Resources and Environment, entitled A Forest in the City: Recommendations for Developing, Implementing, and Maintaining a Forest for Every Classroom in Milwaukee and Chicago for the U.S. Forest Service's Urban Connections. To give you a sense of what we will be discussing in this presentation, we have here a brief outline of our primary topics. To begin, we will introduce you to our team and provide some project background. Next, we will discuss our methods and the most exciting part of our presentation, the results and recommendations. We will conclude with researcher reflections and what is next for this project. This study was conducted by a team of master's students from the University of Michigan's School of Natural Resources and Environment, of which John and I are a part. The project served as the capstone of our master's curriculum at the university. Our team brings a variety of backgrounds and skills to the project, ranging from environmental education to environmental justice to Peace Corps work in South Africa. When we converged in Ann Arbor, Michigan in the fall of 2008, we were initially united after attending a talk by Richard Louv, author of Last Child in the Woods, where we bonded over our concern for children and their connection to the natural world. It was at this time that we decided to do a master's project together. With the help of our advisor, Dr. Michaela Zint, we connected with the U.S. Forest Service Conservation Education Department and Urban Connections Program, and by March of 2009 had officially embarked on our master's project we are about to describe. Upon first contacting the U.S. Forest Service Conservation Education Office, specifically the director, Dr. Sophia Saman, shown here, about this project, they recommended we work with them and Urban Connections program with the Forest Service. At this time, most of our team understood the Forest Service as primarily a land management agency that works in rural areas. It turns out, though, that that is not completely true. The Forest Service works in urban areas as well, and this is where Urban Connections focuses, connecting urban citizens with national and public lands. Urban Connections is a joint program of the Forest Service's 3 branches, including the National Forest System, state and private forestry, and research and development. Primarily in the eastern region, Urban Connections is based in 9 cities, as you can see on this map. Given our location in Ann Arbor, and the fact that at the time there was not a coordinator in Detroit, our project team has worked with the Urban Connections staff in Chicago and Milwaukee. At the time we approached them, Urban Connections and the Conservation Education Office were very interested in determining the possibility of implementing a program called A Forest for Every Classroom, or FFEC as the acronym is pronounced, in Chicago and Milwaukee. Thus, our project has been a feasibility assessment to determine how this program could be best adapted and implemented in Chicago and Milwaukee. You might be asking now, what is A Forest for Every Classroom? Like the name suggests, it is a professional development program for teachers that helps them create their own place-based curricula to use in their classroom. The program began as a partnership endeavor with the Forest Service in Vermont in 1999 and has since been expanded to Montana, Texas, and New Hampshire. Pictured here is one of our team members, Erica Popovich, at the original FFEC location in Vermont. The next few slides will describe 4 of the major components of the FFEC program. First, FFEC offers teachers 4 workshops throughout the year, 1 for each season. Thus, it is not a one-time workshop where teachers leave and are expected to implement their curricula. They have the opportunity to return throughout the year and continue learning and getting feedback. Secondly, teachers design their own curricula using both place-based education principles and service learning components. For those of you unfamiliar with these concepts, place-based education simply refers to education that uses the local community and its resources as a learning context. Service learning programs are community-based service projects that integrate classroom concepts. The third major component of FFEC is that it provides teachers with the opportunity to connect with experts. These may be foresters, education experts, or leaders from local organizations. In addition, these experts are committed to helping teachers after the workshops are completed. Thus, if a teacher has a question about a topic or would like to bring a guest speaker to their class, they can call on these experts for help. Finally, FFEC provides long-term support to teachers. It offers an alumni network, additional workshop opportunities, and mini-grants for teachers who complete the program. So our project was essentially to figure out how this program, originally designed to teach teachers about the beautiful forests of Vermont, could be adapted to meet the needs of Milwaukee and Chicago. In our first phase of research, we invited key parties to help guide our research through a steering committee. This consisted of 13 members representing the U.S. Forest Service Conservation Education Office, Urban Connections, the FFEC program, and our project advisor. We met with them at each key decision point in the project, before interviews, during data analysis, and before the report release. Next, we wanted to deepen our understanding of the existing FFEC program in Vermont. So 2 of our team members, Erica and Mona, attended the 5-day summer workshop in Vermont. They observed the facilities, activity resources required to conduct the institute, and the teacher learning environment. Team members worked with FFEC partners to attend this summer institute in Vermont. An observation protocol was developed to guide their interactions with the group and coordinate information gathering. Essentially, they were silent observers who engaged in workshop activities such that it didn't affect workshop dynamics. In August, we conducted 2 site visits, spending 3 days in Milwaukee and 2 days in Chicago. We met with numerous stakeholders, including personnel from the Forest Service Region 9 office, which is headquartered in Milwaukee, environmental educators, and teachers. We also visited a number of sites that the Forest Service suggested may be good potential partners for the FFEC program, possibly through the contribution of facilities, skills, and/or expertise for a program like FFEC. One example is the Urban Ecology Center in Milwaukee. This is a community environmental education center that has done professional development for teachers in the past and works with a number of schools in the city. Neighborhood House was another site we visited in Milwaukee. They have previously partnered with the Forest Service on other programs and work with underserved youth in the Milwaukee area. In Chicago, we also visited a number of potential sites. Here we are in front of the Shed Aquarium, which does a number of workshops for teachers and additionally has sufficient space and educational resources for potential FFEC programs in Chicago. The Peggy Notabart Nature Museum, also in Chicago, conducts environmental education teacher trainings and has partnered with the Forest Service on prior invasive species curriculum. In addition to these examples, we visited a number of other locations and potential partners in each city, including the Medawin National Tallgrass Prairie, which is managed and operated by the Forest Service in Wilmington, Illinois, about an hour outside of Chicago. I will now turn it over to John, who will wrap up the research methods and tell you a little bit about our results and recommendations.